Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something really important: how to turn awareness into actual meaningful action. We're diving into allyship and reconciliation, and really how we can all play a part in building a more equitable future. Okay, so let's just start right here. Allyship is a verb. This idea, it's everything. It's the foundation for the whole shebang. We're talking about moving past just saying the right things, beyond just simple acknowledgments. We're getting into the real, hands-on work of building partnerships. It's all about turning those words into action. All right, section 1, the need for action. So why does this matter so much right now? Well, to really get why this is so urgent, we have to take a step back and look at the history that got us here. It's not just about what we do next, it's about understanding what came before. So if you look at this timeline, you can see a pretty clear path. It starts way back with the imposition of Crown policies, things like the Indian Act, which controlled almost every part of Indigenous people's lives. Then that leads into the absolutely devastating legacy of residential schools and the trauma that's been passed down through generations. And all of that brings us to right now, to today, where we have this clear, urgent call for change. The key thing to remember is that this history isn't just in a textbook, right? It's the living, breathing context for why what we do today isn't just a choice, it's a fundamental responsibility. Okay, next step, defining meaningful allyship. What are we actually working towards? If we're all going to act, we need to be on the same page. We need a shared language and a clear vision. So what does meaningful allyship even look like? And what's the end game here? And here's a really key piece of the puzzle: economic reconciliation. Now, what's so powerful about this idea is how it frames the goal. This isn't just a social issue or something about history. It's about economics. It's about Indigenous communities achieving a sustainable economic base. A quality of life that's equal to the rest of Canada. We're talking about tangible prosperity and closing those huge systemic gaps. And this is such a crucial distinction to make. There are two paths you can take. On one side, you've got what's called performative allyship. This is all about the gestures, right? Land acknowledgments without any follow-up action. Basically saying the right things without doing anything to change the actual system. But then on the other side, you have active allyship. And this is about the real work. It's about tangible actions, implementing strategies that create real systemic change. It's the difference between talking the talk and walking the walk. And this quote from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada, it just nails it. Reconciliation is about establishing and maintaining a mutually respectful relationship between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal peoples in this country. See that? It's not about a one-time fix. It's not a checklist you complete. It's about building and maintaining a relationship, an ongoing, respectful relationship. That's the heart of it all.
Okay, so let's get practical. Let's move from the what to the how. This section is all about the Reconciliation Action Toolkit and how your organization can actually start making a difference.
So the whole journey can really be broken down into 4 pretty straightforward steps. First, you learn, then you plan, after that you act, and finally, you measure. And that last one is so important, right? It's not enough to just do something. You have to measure your impact to see if what you're doing is actually working. All right, let's look at the first key area: procurement. Honestly, this is one of the most powerful places to start. It's about where your organization's money goes. Think about it. By actively seeking out Indigenous-owned businesses for your goods and services, by setting up specific policies and targets, you're literally turning your everyday spending into an engine for economic reconciliation. This is where the rubber really meets the road. Next up, let's talk about people, hiring and employment. And this goes so much deeper than just hitting a diversity quota. It's about creating a workplace that is genuinely safe and inclusive, a place where Indigenous talent can truly thrive. We're talking about targeted recruitment, sure, but also mentorship, real opportunities for advancement, and taking a hard look at your own organization to tear down any systemic barriers that might be in the way. And the last key area is partnerships. And I mean true partnerships, not just transactional relationships. This is a two-way street. It's about forming joint ventures where everyone benefits. It's about investing in projects that are actually led by the community. And it's about making sure every single interaction is based on that crucial principle of free, prior, and informed consent. It's about working with, not just working for. And here's something that's really important to get. This toolkit, these ideas, they aren't just some nice-to-have corporate social responsibility thing. No way.
These actions are a direct answer to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's call to action number 92. That's the one that specifically calls on the business community in Canada to step up and be part of the solution.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. This section is all about building our shared future. What's the ultimate payoff here? What's the future we're all trying to build together? And the answer is this is not a zero-sum game, not at all. Take a look at this. The work of economic reconciliation creates this incredible ripple effect. When you boost Indigenous prosperity, something amazing happens. It sparks corporate innovation. You get new ideas, new partnerships, and all of that strengthens the entire national economy. A rising tide really does lift all boats. Everybody wins.
So, when you boil it all down, here's the main takeaway. Yes, this work is absolutely rooted in correcting the wrongs of the past. But its focus? It's all about the future. It's about proactively building a Canada that's more equitable, more just, and more prosperous for every single one of us.
And that brings us to the end. But really, it's a beginning. The question shifts from what can be done to what will you do? The toolkit is there, the path forward is clearer than ever, so the only real question left is, what action are you going to take first?